Hey YouTube, Simonas here, bringing you another Total War Arena battle. This time we're on Capitol Hill, and I've decided to take my previous setup with 2 infantry and 1 cavalry unit. Decided to deploy in the center this time, figured that we had problems in the center, maybe I can help out this time. We have a pretty weak setup with 2 barbarians. That's not so good for the center, but we're gonna try to make it work, and perhaps our movement that the barbarians do get is going to be to our advantage. So I've sent 1 cavalry division to scout, and notice that the enemy has already taken the observation tower, so we're pulling back, and we're just gonna try to hold at this point. They have many units. There are some spearmen on the precipice of this hill, and a strong position here. So we're just holding back and seeing what happens. I take some damage from the archers that I haven't seen previously, and this other guy comes in. He's trying to do the same. He's just trying to scout, and he didn't see me scouting, I guess, because he runs into the archer volley as well. But now we know they have shitload of troops over here, so we are pulling back at this point. The archers are moving forward, which is pushing us even more back. Some of the infantry here also halting before our approach, but at least nothing's crumbling so far. Our ally gets a nice charge into archers, but is immediately countered by swords. It's unclear if it was worth it. Probably not. She's still taking some volleys on the way back, so no, definitely not worth it. We have another ally also joining us here with more cavalry. I'm also sending my cavalry down back, seeing that cavalry was moving here. I get a nice charge to the rear, so we're dealing with that nicely, and this is being quite a stalemate. Our another ally again is sending some missile troops, but he's getting shot from his position uphill. So yeah, we keep running into that and having some major issues. So yeah, some reinforcements move in, cavalry and infantry, and the hoplites, I believe. No, these are the Roman units are going to attack us. I tried to pull back at the last moment. There's some charging back and forth here, again kinda taking damage, really struggling with this position, but it's at least luring some of those infantry into our missile units now. I pull in a little closer. I'm not sure why. I'm probably just going to get shot, but yeah, I do pull back immediately. There's nothing much to do here. So our ally is engaged on this flank, and we get a nice left flank charge in. It doesn't do too much, but we're slowly chipping away. We need to be careful of this enemy cavalry, which also gets a charge into our guys. So we're doing the same thing that we're doing. I pull my cavalry back at this point, chasing those archers. Figured that they pulled their units back, but we do have the units. So we're just going to get a charge in and hopefully pull back soon enough. Yeah, just covering my ally. He's doing some decent damage here, though their position is probably still better, but we're doing what we can. Meanwhile, I charge my infantry into this blob, which we seem to be having them surrounded, which is doing good. Another cavalry charge is also helping out here, and the enemy is starting to rout. So we're starting to win on the middle left. For some reason, we've made some progress on this hill, but we can't take it. There's no way. So I'm pulling back again, cycling in some charges back and forth. And I figured I'd send my cavalry around at this point. The enemy has cavalry here also, so we do have to pull back. We're unable to flank this location in any way. This is a strong position. So we have some infantry charging us, so we're gonna charge them back and get a nice cavalry charge into those archers over here. Unfortunately, that that will mean we're going to take some damage. But these archers are very low themselves, so we're actually taking the hill with the help of our own archers. We do get a nice route, and our units seem to be doing well over here. So I do charge in my cavalry, but I seriously change my mind when I see infantry moving in as well. I'm not totally sure what was happening here. I didn't see it, but sometimes they had infantry in support, sometimes they didn't. So just trying to figure out when is the right time to strike. Our ally has to move back because the enemy infantry is seriously chasing him, and we get charged in the right flank. Not really, not any way to help. I decide to charge in with my cavalry into their archers. Which may work to our advantage, since these units are now free to harass the enemy. It's probably better than to charge into the bluff with the cavalry and get shot by them. But now some cavalry comes in and seriously damaging us over here. I do send one unit from behind, maybe to try to stop some retreat or get some flanking in, and we try to take this tower as well. So we've managed to pull through here, but there's some issues with the cavalry over here. However, we have another guy to help as well, and these archers get seriously flanked from all sides, really. So some nice killing blowage over here. Even managed to eliminate an enemy. The middle is all but won at this point. We still have to be careful of their cavalry charge, but we've done well so far. The enemy keeps running around with cavalry, harassing our archers. I haven't done a good enough job of trying to protect them. We've definitely got a few charges in, but we deal with them eventually, I guess. They're boxed in at the moment, and we have our infantry on them, so that's going to be a good fight for us. They do realize this and try to pull back as much as possible, even activating their abilities to get out, but some of their units do rout. There's even more enemy cavalry over here, but they are quite weak, and I have units just defending my flanks and trying to chase them away with this small, very wounded unit over here. So yeah, the center went well this time, which is very encouraging. Even some executions and more eliminations by our units. So very happy about that. Honestly, you wouldn't think that 2 infantry and 1 cavalry would be very good. You would probably want to cycle in some skirmishers, at least most people do so. But this mobility given by the cavalry really makes the infantry shine as well, and if all goes to hell, we can always pull back and wait what happens, like in this fight. So yeah, the infantry with the cavalry has the ability to deal with the archers, which is what you need, and especially what barbarians need, since they are weaker with against skirmishers with lesser defense stats. At this point I wasn't sure where their units were. I wasn't sure if this was all of their contingent, but we're sort of checking out the towers, trying to see them. We do see them over here, then we move the cavalry, and we're going to pull back, try to help our allies by holding this position. Some horsemen are over here, so we're going to try to help cover all the bases here. The enemy is definitely darting in, trying to get a good entry, but there are some mean spearmen over here. Almost hurting my units, actually. Or maybe that's just someone else's units. Just routed units, I guess. So yeah, still holding this tower, just seeing where they're coming from. We have another ally chasing them from behind, so if they do smash into us over here, we can strike them from behind as well, and I'm also positioning this unit to look for such opportunities. I've originally placed them in this forest, hoping to flank them from this direction, but they've also moved through the forest and noticed me, so I had to pull back. Just trying to hold down some alleyways here, and they are coming in force at the moment. Still, there are some hoplites. We're going to try it and hold. The enemy has their own hoplites as well, and they do the funny moving thing. Now that was a nice charge. That's probably winning for us. They do get in, however, and we try to deal with his hoplites, but our barbarians can't really stand up to them. However, this is where our scouting paid off. We're definitely gonna hit them from behind now. Still, hoplites are very difficult to deal from the front, so I'm sending my cavalry to help. It's not quite as effective as you would think, and my cavalry is taking some damage as well. But we're making some progress. We've definitely outmaneuvered them in this last fight. That was very nice, actually, taking this watchtower over here and seeing that they're coming from us, so we could hold some of our units back and come in from behind when it was needed. The enemy is backing themselves into a corner, and there is not really a good way to attack it, but these guys are going to give their best first. This is not really a winning fight, but we have a numbers advantage at this point, so... Still, hoplites very difficult to deal with if you just place them like that. You do need skirmishers at this point, and we have none of them. I think we only had 3 archers at the start, so just one guy playing some kind of missile unit. Defending over here, just countering enemy probing, and we're about to have this one. Our leader did die to, I believe, missile fire. He was just pretty unfortunate because most of our people are alive. So we have a victory here. I thought maybe I could get into the top rankings, but someone beat us to it. So good job, this guy. So yeah, that's the battle for the day. I thought this was pretty interesting, some good maneuvering on our side, and I hope you were mildly entertained, and we'll keep watching. Thank you. See you next time.